Malaysia sudah sang beri ada mobil ada nama jalan.
Good evening, everyone. I heartily welcome you all for today's session. I'm Pavitra Hegde. I will be your host for this session. Let us experience the joy of learning. Remember, a new learning is always difficult initially, but becomes a habit eventually. Kindly mute yourself. Request to ask questions at the end of the session. Today's agenda: welcome and introduction, journey so far, Disciples India Group and Disciples India Learning Forum, guest speakers introduction, and the session. Disciples India Group vision is to excel as a focused and fulfilling learning destination for new age growth aspirations. And mission is we will be a practice-based professional training and consulting platform through novel and relevant process of transformation to individuals and organizations, quality policy and core values. Disciples India Learning Forum. Disciples India Group Bangalore is happy to present a platform purely for the joy of learning. It is envisaged to be an exciting learning platform where like-minded individuals and organizations can come together, share experiences, and learn and grow as individuals, professionals, and organizations. Disciples India Learning Forum objectives: to provide a platform to share and exchange ideas and experiences, to create and develop personal and professional network of learners, to enhance effective communication and leadership skills, to foster learning and contribute for personal, professional, and organizational development, to update with life management skills and contribute as an effective member to the society. Disciples India Learning Forum organizing committee members: Dr. A.M. Suresh, Advisor; Dr. Sandhya N., President; Mr. Muthukumar, Vice President; Mr. Patros Matai, Secretary; Dr. Satish M., Joint Secretary; Mr. Shivprasad K.M., Treasurer; Mr. Akhilesh N.N., Executive Member. Disciples India Learning Forum We have completed 87 learning sessions from last 4 years to till date. Today's session associate partner SAT Degree College, Magdi Road, Bangalore. Sarvodaya Group of Institutions was established in 1995 with the motive of serving the society in emphasizing teaching, learning, and service as a premise to progress. With an aim of nurturing the adolescents, SAT Degree College came into its being in 2016 as another feather in the cap of Sarvodaya Educational Trust. Nevertheless, the SAT Degree College has placed its first footprints in the society with an aim of inculcating human values and a dream to create a college with potential for excellence initiated from its inception. Courses offered BCom, BBA, BCA and MCom. Disciples India Learning Forum in association with SAT Degree College, Magdi Road, Bangalore. Present learning session is 88 and today's topic is career opportunities for technical and non-technical graduates. Our guest speaker is Mr. Vikas Viruprakasha. Now I request Professor Divya B of SAT Degree College, Magdi Road to introduce the guest speaker. Over to you, ma'am. Please give me some time, maybe technical issues there.
Actually, Divya ma'am is not there in group, ma'am, in a participant list.
Hey, Pavitra, would you like me to take it ahead? Hello? Pavitra, I hope you are on mute, so you have to unmute yourself.
Sir.
So you want me to take it ahead? So I think...
Sir, 2 minutes. Sir, 2 minutes. She is joining now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Now I'm requesting Professor Divya B to introduce our guest speaker today. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening to everyone present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our honorable chief guest, Vikas Virupak, founder of Unique SOL Consultants India Private Limited, which is one of the topmost company in the city. He has done electrical engineering at Channapasveshwara Institute of Technology. He had done a course of Certified International Career Coach, NCDA, that is National Career Development Authority, CDA, Career Development Alliance USA. He is also known for his work in Sigma Info Solutions, Technical Sales Executive from July 2010 to November 2012. Infocom Limited, that is Pre-Sales Technical Associate from November 2012 to Feb 2014. IIC Services India Private Limited. He has worked as manager and techno-commercial at BI and Big Data from March 2014 to September 2015. Value Print Systems Private Limited. He has worked as business head BI and analytics from October 2015 to Feb 2019. TIPCO India BCT. He has worked as manager and head analytics and DS at from Feb 2019 to December 2021. He is presently working as founder and CEO at Unique SOL Consultants Private India Limited. He had been a part of multiple companies with 11 plus years of experience in solutions and consulting BI and analytical roles. Of course of years and career, helped companies with strategies, product marketing, solution implementation, etc. With track of record of many clients and projects achieved by strategy, planning, commitment, and hard work. Sir, we are very grateful to you that you are with us today. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Session is over to you, sir.
Okay, thanks. So thanks, Pavitra. Thanks, Divya. So I think it was a brief intro about my profile. So this brought me about what I've done in 11 years. So that's good. So yes, let me Divya, it will be helpful if you mute yourself. So let me share the the video. Hope I'm visible. Hi, so myself Vikas. Thanks for the opportunity to to discuss with you all today evening, and then I think it's a wonderful evening in Bangalore today, right? So that's cool, guys. So let's get started. Let me share the screen, and we'll start working in terms of the presentation. So any heads up, any questionnaire, so please park it yourself, or maybe if there is a question need to be raised, unmute yourself and then feel free to ask the questions. Okay, so let me share the screen. Right, hope the screen is visible right now. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yes.
Perfect, fine. So yes, myself Vikas, and I'm a founder CEO of Unique SOL Consultants India Private Limited, and particularly so this is an overview of a company where we have two flavors of it. One is we are developing an AI-driven platform for education industry, and which is a patented with us, right? And the other flavor is on the services where we consult colleges, schools, as well as the universities as well. Who we are, particularly we are the 4% across the globe, right? So where we do is consulting for colleges and the schools as of now. So this is what we do, and we follow certain process and methods which has been followed by the top universities, right? So this is what my profile looks like. So the same, the beard, and very less in terms of the hair. So just ignore the image. True. So I'm a certified international career coach from NCDA, National Career Development Authority. CAPAM is nothing but your Commonwealth Association for your public administration management. Yeah. So my background is with information technology, and my parallel profession is consulting. Particularly, I consult a lot of companies in terms of analytics, BI, big data, and then the data science as well, right? So the DS refers to your data science, AI refers to artificial intelligence, and then ML refers to machine learning. So I have approximately 28 different professional certifications with me, right? So I'm a CBAP certified professional. So I did my CBAP in 2011, and then I did my CAP in 2014. So I have SaaS enterprise application management, and then the tools. I'm a certified professional. I'm a gold certified professional in Tableau, TIBCO, SAS, SQL, and ETL tools as well, right? So my total years of experience is around 11 plus years. So 5+ years in terms of the consulting itself, and then I've been training a lot of professionals in the industry, so in which it has crossed 5+ years of experiences, and then 4+ years we have been doing a freelancing from past 2016. So we have consulted with the top universities as well. So we are the one who consulted NTU, Nanyang Technical University, on Metaverse coins, right? So on which is going with the blockchain and then advanced AI technology. So we have helped them to register a patent and then write the theses and the research papers along with the publication. So and that thing was taken care by us, right? So being experienced with 4+ years of career trainings. And then again, my profile stands here. I'm a known consultant for for many of the companies in which I have consulted on data visualization, virtualization, and your analytics and all. So this is a count of 25+ unicorn startups, which includes Swiggy, which includes Hike India, which includes Sun Academy. So I have consulted more than 100 companies as well. And then I have been part of E27 startup hub, which is an APAC. I was been in advisory board for a complete APAC, that is your Asia Pacific and Asia Central, right? So this is what my profile looks like. So this is the advisory board of a company, and then this is the core team that we have. We have Bharat, and then Shrikant, and then Santosh. So this is what it is, who we are. I'm just going to skip the slide because just to keep the cut short of the time. So we're going to be talking towards where we are, and then what are the opportunities that can benefit the students right now, right? This is what the credentials look like. So we have consulted more than 7,000+ students globally, and then the advantages when we consult, so we are only concentrating on the quality and then the global placements itself, right? So we have conducted more than 600+ 10 sessions, and then there have been 728 workshops being paid, and then there are 11,000+ training materials is being delivered. This is what we do. We consult. We don't train. Instead, we consult the colleges and then students as well. Yes. Any questions so far? Okay, cool. So if you look at, just wanted to have Mrs. Divya, if you can just throw me some light on, who are the candidates right now in the session? Are they from the technical or background, or maybe they from non-technical background? Hello?
Just a minute, sir.
Sorry?
Just a second, sir, I'll tell you. Sir, actually, there are SCT degree students who had joined for BCom and BCA.
Perfect. So we have a mixture of finance as well as your commerce as well as your the application side. Is it computer application? That's cool. So if I have to give an example, how exactly the candidates have to look into their opportunity. So can anyone as a student, can anyone unmute yourself and then can you just say what is the career opportunity that you're looking at for? Anyone in the anyone in the session today? So what's your plan in terms of the career? So what are you trying to get into?
Sir, I am looking for revenue inspector in. Sir, I am looking for revenue inspector in the field of revenue inspector, sir.
A revenue inspector. That's a cool actually profession. So what does does revenue inspector will have impact of the career after 5 years? Any idea, brother?
Sir, may I need the guidelines of how to become an revenue inspector?
That's definitely. See, this is not an individual consulting, sorry, but if you are looking as a revenue inspector, after 5 years, what's the role that you are trying to take? What is the next step of a revenue inspector? In which area of the revenue inspector that you want to take an ad, that you take an ad? Any idea? So may I know your name, please?
Vijay Kumar, sir.
Okay, yeah. Vijay, what's your role after 5 years when you're being, when you become a revenue inspector?
Sir, I see to that land properly with the proper price, not taking any of more prices or illegal activities like double registrations. Anything, I look after it.
So that's a government role that you're looking at, is it?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So this particular role, how will you get it? Also, how will you manage it? Is the biggest question, right? So if you look at the opportunity right now, right? So there are, I'll just come to the slide. So you will be, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. So when you look at the skills, right? So when you're looking at the particular academics, so this holistic solution, what it does is particularly, this is what your layer is right now, right? So academics is where you're learning your BCom or maybe your BCAs or maybe any other graduation program. So if you have your academics, right? So then you have to learn certain skills. So skills are the major practical, examples where you get your jobs. Okay. So then you have to understand what is the profession that you're getting into. As Vijay said, you want to be an revenue inspector, right? So that's a profession. When it's a profession, what is the skills that you need to have?
I am 550.
Hello?
Sir, handling people.
No, I totally agree. Handling people is one of the major part, but what is a skill for that? What is the skill, Vijay, that you have to get into? What are the skills? That is what you need to learn, right? So you are learning about the skills here. So that is a profession. So if you have to reverse engineer your profession, what you have to do is you have to learn the skills first, right? So then in the other hand, you have to look at which are the industry is that, and then which are the companies. So companies for government, you can refer it as the departments or a board or maybe a ministry, right? So look at the jobs, industry, company, market trends. Market trends is the current market technology as well as how the market is working in the today's world. So this is what actual job profession would look like tomorrow. So without these, without the skill set, without the understanding about the industry, can you mute, yourself, please? Sorry. Hello. Okay. So if you're looking at the jobs, right? So you need to understand the industry, companies. Hello. So can anyone? So excuse me, please. Perfect. So yes. This is what you need to learn and this is what you need to understand in terms of the industry today. So why would someone have to give you 5 lakhs, right? Why would someone have to give you a salary for that? So if you are targeting more and more salaries, you need to have a skill set in hand. So when you have a skill set, so that is where companies will run behind resources, right? So that is where you will be enabled to get on the job tomorrow, right? So are you industry ready is a major question for most of the companies, right? So either might be you will be looking at for the government jobs or maybe the private jobs. So what will the companies or maybe your, the government or examinations are looking at is, are you industry ready? So how well you are equipped or maybe how well you are knowing about the industry. So this industry can be a government industry as well, or a public sector, right? Or a defense industry. So, and even it can be IT. So there are 41 industries across the globe. So you need to have an idea in which industry that you're going to. So you have manufacturing, you have BFSI, you have government, you have PSU, which is public sector, right? And then you have DRDO, defense research, and you have a lot of options in terms of your manufacturing and then your IT, non-IT, and then a lot of things are happening in the market. So my suggestion is understand which industry that you want to go forward, right? So if you are, if you want to get to an industry ready, why would someone has to offer a job, right? So why the company has to hire you? So do you have any idea what kind of a role that you're looking to, or maybe do you have any idea which are the, the department or a profession that you wanted to get into, right? What are your Yeah, Divya, I think you have raised a hand. Hello, Divya?
Hello.
Yeah.
So BBA students have been involved in this, sir.
So BBA skill, is it? Yeah, we'll capture it. I mean, it's fine. So we'll cover both the technical and the non-technical aspect. But
Okay,
if you
sir.
look at the question as here, so it's the same thing, right? It's the same questions asked by more and more companies, or maybe it's a normal question, or maybe it's a default questions for most of them, right? So do you have any idea of which type of a company, technology, product that you wanted to join for the company, right? So that is where you will end up with a lesser, packages of the salaries today. So no one would give you, 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs until and unless you are not skilled enough or you don't have any ideas or what they are doing, right? So or else you have to compromise for the lesser salaries. So this is the true fact in the industry today. So this is what happening. And then have you ever thought that you can negotiate with the HRs on your salary package? How many of you know that, okay, you can negotiate with us, you can negotiate with the HR on your salary packages? But you have to be ready with certain, examples where the HR has to work with you, right? So basically, there was an error that you can, if you have a graduating degree, so then you are into the jobs, right? So then there was an era where, most of the interviews were happening, but there were the lesser jobs opportunity. But now in the industry, what is happening is if you have a skill set enough, if you are skilled enough, right? So you come to the job. If you are not skilled, then you are not coachable. That means you're not eligible for the job. This is what the companies will look at each and every individual. This can be from BCA, BBA, BCom, even this is happening with the BEs as well today. So this is a challenge when the industry today, where we are looking at certain programs, certain heads-ups, or maybe even you to master your skills, right? So which current industry or a technology would you like to work with? So that's a major part, right? So I think Vijay is crystal clear that he want to, get into the government job where he is working with, as a revenue, what is that? As a revenue inspector, right? So this is what, the particularly a total technology or industry that you have to work for. So you have to be prepared. So you have to be earning as an, you have to understand what is the skill set that you are, trying to bring in. They have to be next 5 years either. So I think most of them are, catering to, the graduates. So obviously most of you have an idea of to get into the masters. So why you have to get into the masters, where you can get 2 years experiences in the companies. So you can earn the, salaries more than what your masters are doing. If you are particular,
Sir, actually, master students also are there in this class, sir. MCom students are also there.
Oh, wonderful. Cool then. So when you have, okay, fine. The first, heads up is in terms of for the graduates. So let me have it. So once you have, completed your graduations, so 2 years, right? So you can spend in a company and then you can earn the experiences, right? And then you can upgrade your skill. And if you have any masters coming in, right? So if there are the students who are in masters as well, so you can have the particular work culture nature which is already been there as an implementation. And then most of the MComs have, so MCom with the financial enough skill set today, a lot of certifications needed for as a skill set for a masters. So that is where the specialization is going on. It can be in terms of your quantitative finance or maybe financial tech, which is fintech we call it. It can be your ERPs, or maybe it can be any other certain technologies that they have to earn with. So that is where the companies are looking for more packages. So it can be your graduate, you can be a master graduate. So these questions are common in the industry. So do you know how to get the maximum package out of it? So when you have a certain skill set, actually you can negotiate with the HRs. That's a missing piece in the academics today. So you should understand how the company will work. So in my upcoming slides, I will give you an understanding how the company will work, what are the departments within the company, how to understand one particular company, and then how to look at the job profiles, right? So I'll give you that heads up coming in my upcoming slides. But if you look at the same questions, so how to get the more packages is the biggest question, right? ಸೊ ಸರ್ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಇದೇ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ತುಂಬಾ, ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. You need skills, okay? Apart from your academics, you need skills. You need to have an idea on what is industry, which industry that you are going to through, and then how you learn these particular skill set as per the industry, as per the market. So this is what you have to learn when you have to, get to the higher packages. Now, if you look at, these are the major questions right now. What is your roadmap of a future? How will you, go in a future? How your 1, 2, 3, 5 years will be in next upcoming years? What is the roadmap? What is the current market? Do you have an idea of current market challenges today? So our master graduates are the one who will be working on papers, publications and all. True. So when you're working on that, what is the current market challenge that you're solving? That depends on the projects, what you do, right? Then you will have a higher packages coming, and you will have a companies today. We need financial background, candidates today. Most of the companies are scouting for them with a particular skill set. If you have an idea of advanced Excel, just come on board. You don't have to work, you don't have to work, or maybe you don't have to understand where you are standing up. So we will train you. So this is what companies are looking at. Because if you are looking at them, see, your individual graduates, it might be your BCom, BBA, BCA, or maybe even your masters, right? So who are MCom, MCA, as well as your MBAs, have the individual weightage of their academics, right? So you might have a technical or maybe a non-technical, or if you call it as for an example, for BCom, if you call it. So BCom, they can actually look at non-tech, right? So I'm not talking about IT. It's non-tech, which is technical and then non-technical. So I'm not talking about, non-IT and then IT there. Okay, please understand there is a difference. So non-technical is where you can get into a lot of options, right? So you have the management role, you have your, operations, you have your admin, you have your finance, you have your HR, right? You have business as an option. So for technical, so you have a lot of things as a production, you have testing, or maybe your, application. If it's a BCA, yeah, you have a lot of opportunity in terms of your cybersecurity, cloud, IoT, sensors, and then your, analytics, BI. So a lot of opportunities are there. But today, non-technical students also trying to upgrade for some of the tech solutions, because they have to upgrade themselves. Without the technology, I'll just give you an option. Let me give you one heads up here. So this seems interesting for most of the candidates, right? So when did we got our freedom, or maybe when was our freedom was brought to India?
1947, sir, August 15.
Perfect. 1947. So if you look at 75 years back, right? 1947 to 1977. Okay, in India, it was an agricultural era. Most of the people were, their occupation was agriculture. If you look at that, so 1947 to 1977, it was an agricultural era within India. ನೀವು ಯಾರನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಬರೀ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. So 1977 to 1997, okay, it is called industrial era. So most of the people in this particular, era were working with the industries, right? If you ask your dad, or maybe if you ask your, chachas, or maybe if you ask your uncles, so they'll say that, yes, we were working for this. We were working for this industry. It can be your travel, manufacturing were the major two industries which was there. Apart from that, hotel industry was, then emerging. So there were only certain industries to work. Right, most of them were working with the manufacturing itself. That is called the industrial era. But 1997 in the new tagondre, it is a technology era. So this will be there for next 100 years. So technology 1997 in the next data year, technology era and that is where the computers, the computers was introduced to India, right? And you had your, our time we didn't have such a defined internet network at that time. So we were used to go to cyber centers and then do a lot of jobs there, right? So this is an if you look at this is the map. and you are living in a technology era, you have to update yourself as a technical guy, or maybe you need to have 1, 2, 3 technical skill sets with you to have a higher packages. This is what the companies will look at, brother. So you are looking at something which is achievable. At least there are people who are, who are able to guide you today. But unfortunately, there were no one to guide us. We were, doing the entire knowledge of, we were used to meet a lot of people. We were used to understand what is the global market, what is the, Indian market, how that will work, what is the challenges right now. If you focus on this, so your package is safe with you. So you can start with a minimal, then you can expand yourself, right? So that is what the roadmap will look like. Sure. Any questions so far? Okay. Hello, any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. So if you look at, yes, so what is your roadmap? What is the current market challenges today? Do you have an idea what are the current market challenges today? That is very important. How company operates and what is its market position. So you should understand it is not only the product or a service-based companies anta iradilla. So there are companies like, as a consulting company, the services company irutte, your global SI system integrators anta irtare. You have application development companies, and then you have infrastructure companies. So there are a lot of differences in terms of your market position. And this can be your startup as well. This can be your enterprise, or maybe, your large enterprise, mid-market companies. So this is what the company as a market position would look like, right? If some of you are concentrating for government, right? So look at it, the difference. So basically you have to work with a department level. Then comes your board, then comes your ministry. So at what, department that you are trying to engage, right? So revenue minister, bari kandayadal onde iralla Vijay. So you have, you have multiple opportunity as a revenue inspector tomorrow, but to which board? So blind agi to which board or maybe to which department that I have to join, you have to think on it, right? So you have to keep on updating yourself, and then, even for your example, so recently, I was the one who consulted Department of Treasury. So, Kazane application. So I'm the one who was consulting for a Department of Treasury, Karnataka, as well as, Madhya Pradesh. So you need a lot of, revenue inspectors there, right? So why people, the market, or maybe your government, entities are hiring on a contractual basis, because they want to, see how this person will perform. That's a challenge today, right? So how you are upgrading as per your, the market, what is been changing. So as being a revenue inspector, if you have a, understanding in terms of Excel, or might be your, ERP, so that will take you to a next level, and, standing in front of as a revenue inspector while your interview takes place, while you pass up. So you can actually definitely say that, okay, this is what I have been experienced with, right? So that might change you in terms of a different, board, or maybe even they might offer you something as an, within the department. So there are a lot of opportunities which has to open, right? So this again, what are the industry skills you have that falls under the same bracket, and then types of job professions would you like to work, and then how to crack interviews smartly. So you just take a screenshot of this particularly if you want, or maybe you can actually work on this. Enough question as, so do a reverse engineering, right? Do a reverse engineering, what you have to do it. A lot of opportunities are there. I'll just give you a next heads up, right? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. Roadmap of the job opportunities is a very good, a slide. If you look at this, okay, let me take you 16 years back. So you were, I think you were kids, or maybe you were in the schools those times, right? But still, let me give you a heads up. 2006, when we graduated, right? So there is a challenge. So when we graduated in 2006, right? So we had a basic cell phones. Namig avaga 4G irlilla, 5G irlilla, and then we didn't had a smartphones. The only technology which we had when we come out of BE, which is Bachelor of Engineering, was cloud technology, or you call it as in web development. That's sorry, not a cloud. That's called web development, yeah. And it was happening on a cloud, not at the back end, yeah. So web development is the only technology that we had in 2006. And if you call your, if I have to take an example of your cell phones today, that's a major impact in your, in the industry, or maybe, that's a major impact with your social or personal life. That's part of you, right? 2006, Namatra, I did the very basic cell phones. So how many of you remember, I don't know, how many of you remember 1100? 11, yeah, 1101. So you had a lot of phones there, right? So we were working as, we were used to work with the mobiles as just a communication device. Call barta ittu, right? We used to keep it a charge, calls, messages, that's it. That is where the basic cell phones were used in 2006, right? If you look at 2007, some changes in your smartphones happened. You had your, what is that? Blackberries, Nokias, which is your Mango set, or maybe your 6600, right? So some part of the multimedia was introduced in the smartphones, right? So they call it as a smartphone at that time. The highest camera which we had was 2.3 megapixel, imagine. And that was a VGA. That's a challenge there. Yes, 2008, your iOS and then Android was introduced in India. Most of the countries here. So you had your touch phones, iOS and then Android, which was introduced in India. Right? 2009, Facebook launched to India as a web-based. How many of you remember Orkut? Do you know what is Orkut? Do anyone know what is Orkut? Okay, I'll take it as a no. So Orkut was a social media itself, okay, which was just like your Twitter without knowing a profile. So that was Orkut, right? So Facebook was succeeded in India because of your, the profile understanding, network market, everything. It was launched, and so that is where Facebook was successful. Facebook mobile application irrilla. It was, we used to go to cyber centers and then we used to log into Facebook and then look at it. So that was the the first initial Facebook. It was a web based, and then Google search was done. So Google search, we are using an extensive usage of our Google search today. So we are using it now, right? So at those days, it was completely a different a ball game there. I mean,
petrol. Normal.
So please mute yourself. If you want to speak, please unmute yourself. So if you are looking at this particular, so as a web base, right? So 2020, 10 was the YouTube. Let me put it across.
Narayan Prasad, mute ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ?
So if you look at this, so there is a challenge, because at that time you imagine you were using your, but this is what the 2G era was. The 2G which I was mentioning about, right? 2009. We were used to use a mobile phone as a web browser for that. So Facebook was as a browser. And we used to go for cyber centers to do that. 2010, your official mobile apps of YouTube, Maps, Chrome as a mobile apps, it was introduced, right? So first YouTube bantu, Maps bantu, and then Google search engine bantu as a mobile application, what you're looking at today, right? In 2011, I think Facebook was introduced for your, mobile application. But if you look at why I'm giving you this roadmap and the challenges, because if you look at from 2011, 18 to 22, there are 5 million mobile applications happening in the mobile. Imagine the technology, right? Imagine 5 million. 5 million is approximately your 50 lakhs of applications, mobile applications. You have application for your ride, you have application for your food, application for you to do a trimmings or maybe your booking. Imagine. And 2010, 11. Hello, yeah. So if you yes, someone has messaged, there are more companies for new features and want more profit, wanted to become the best company. That's a different story, that's a different story if I have to give you that, right? I'll just give you a heads up on those grounds as well. But if you have to look at this, look at the opportunities created. I'll just give you a heads up on the company's growth as well. So yeah, look at the opportunities created from 2006 to 22. Opportunities. Let me show you that. So what will be the next trend for 21 to 32 is? Look at the opportunity. You have social media. So yarku gottirlilla, there can be a social media manager. There was no one such as your digital manager, digital marketing. It was only online media. No, there was not an online media. There was only a broadcasting media and print media. You have social media and then online media coming up today, right? So you have automated defense system, digital transformations, right? And then sky computing, edge computing, wearable technology. If you look at this, look at the technology coming in. Just opportunity create within 16 years. And this is where the opportunity lies for that for next 10, 12 years. So how you pick up yourself is the biggest challenge. Either you can choose your tech or non-tech jobs. That's dependent on you, how you are capable of to deliver that, right? So how you want to take this forward is the biggest question. How we are there to try now, maybe we are there to assess, but who will take it, who will take charge of yourself? Of your career is yourself. You have to take care of that, right? So a lot of technology has been working. Drones, yeah, solar energy, electrochemistry, non-technical. So you don't have to worry. You can actually look at the lot of opportunities which is coming up in the next slide, right? So this is particularly for all of them, everyone. Okay, let me put it across a real-world industry case study. So there is an interesting industry called internet. How many of you know that? Okay, there is an industry called internet. So which have help us to improve our knowledge about the product consumption. So Shivraj Talwar has been asking us which app help us to improve our knowledge. So there is no such as such app, Shivraj. Just to give you a heads up. So it has to be you make use of Google very well. So type just type it as in which is the current market trends technology today. So what is the aspects happening with the BBAs or BCAs, whichever the stream that you are into? What is the current market trends as per that? Which is the industry that you're concentrating on? So that's how you can actually learn yourself, right? So yes, perfect. So we'll keep this Q&A session at the last, right? So I think we have another 30 minutes to go ahead, or maybe short time with that. So let me help you out with a case study here. So which is internet industry. How many of you know that, okay, there is an internet industry? So your internet industry is nothing but which is happening in your cell phones, right? So this can be your Uber, Ola, Swiggy, Hike, Hike India, or Hike Messenger, what you call it as and maybe you have your other things in terms of your applications to learn, might be your Google, so or might be with anything like that. So this is what the industry called, right? So anything which you use in terms of the technology within your cell phone, it's a internet industry which consumes your internet. Simple, right? So I'll take a real world use case of one of the company called Swiggy. So Swiggy original name is Bundle Technologies, right? So it's a name of the company. So Swiggy is just a brand name, right? So application architecture, if I have to share, so this is the application architecture. So many of your non-tech folks might share a question saying that sorry, why we are looking at the technical aspect. The simple answer is look at the entire business of Swiggy today, right? It's a concept that you need to understand being a technical or maybe a non-technical guy. Then you can actually introduce your skills wherever you want in these particular companies, right? So there are companies in the new age industry. So these are new age companies. So this is where people are minting money here, right? So if you look at the business, so you don't have to deep dive. Sorry, what is all these things, or maybe what are the aspects in terms of technical. So this particular slide goes deep technical as well if someone asks a question, right? So just understand the business aspect of it, or maybe you understand the company aspect of it. So we are looking at internet industry and we are looking at the company like Swiggy, right? So basically, if you look at this, Swiggy and Adenila, it's a business which is happening in 3 stages, which is one is your customer, the one who will books an order, one is a restaurant who takes the order, and one is a platform who delivers the order. Simple. Customer is the one who will book the order, restaurant is the one who will receive an order, platform owner is the one who will deliver the order. Simple. It's quite simple as a business. But if you look at the back end, so there are a lot of things. So we'll park it aside, right? So you need a customer to book your order, right? So basically, one application application company right? A platform you need. A platform, what you look at as a customer, right? Who will book an order. Without an application, you can't book an order. Without a restaurant, you can't accept an order. Without a platform, you can't deliver the order. True? Now, if you look at this, what is that is being needed? Application anta ಒಂದು ಸಲಿ mobile application ಅಥವಾ platform ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, so it is not that okay you get access everywhere. At first you have to align the restaurants saying that okay, we have users, okay, there has been orders coming in, right? And you have customers, so customers can book their orders as per what they need, as per the restaurants or maybe what they need, so the restaurants are offerings as well. So there has to be some person who need to deliver your food from that restaurant, right? So you being an end user, think of it. So this is what, excuse me, I think I have a challenge with my, yeah. So that's fine. So you look at this aspect today, right? So where all these 3 people are coming is in the platform. This is what the Swiggy platform looks like. But if you look at platform, right? Nimige online notifications ಬರುತ್ತೆ mobile ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So there is the notification. You need a payment gateway, which you are doing a payment, or maybe you can do a cash on delivery as well if you're cash rich. And also you have a lot of geographical access. So map access ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. Without the map access, how would someone know that you are there in that particular location, right? So this is on high level enough. What is that? Architecture of the application, or maybe the particular business, and where it has been there, it's been there in the cloud. And I mean, it's there in the cloud, so there is no on-prem for that, because when you're using a 40-50 MB of your application, so that's a different understanding, right? So this particular process has been aligned in one particular technology. If it's a technical guys, then you can look at the database development, production, testing, support, right, improvements, and then other SDKs, which is your software development. So what are the things happening? Integrations, a lot of opportunities will open up. But whereas for non-tech guys, there will be an operations in terms of your supply chain, finance, accounting, HR, business. So we'll just come up with individual departments from the next slide. So if you look at this, right? So look at the common departments, right? So look at the departments within the Swiggy as a company, right? You look at it. The challenge now is where you have to get hired. Where you have to get hired. So now I think you have a clarity, right? So if anyone from yourself, unmute, and then you can say which are the department that you want to join, please. Anyone in the session? Yaradru unmute madi, which department that you want to join? Any particular idea? Okay.
Business, sir. Business.
Sorry, business.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. That's a cool idea. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ business ದುಡಿಯೋಷ್ಟು ಈ departments ಇನ್ಯಾವುದು ದುಡಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. I'll give you a heads up of that, right? So common departments. So common departments are the major departments in each and every company, right? So the first what we did an understanding of your internet, which is an industry. Industry nododvi, then we are looking at the company as a Swiggy, what they are doing, right? You look at the common departments within the companies. Yes, this cut across all the companies. Idella companies allo same irata. There is no change in it, right? So you have the management place. So the management, the management is at the topper role, right? Your directors, VPs, CEOs. So those are in the management roles. The board is on the advisories and then committees as well. So another quite interesting department is finance and accounts, right? Opportunities are there. You have financial roles as in, AR, accounts receivable, AP, accounts payable, right? And then you have a opportunity for your finance controller, right? Or maybe you can build a finance model as a finance executive, right? And if you are keen on analytics, you can be a finance analyst in a company. So look at the opportunities in terms of this. So I'll give you numbers, you will be shocked, right? And then HR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ HR ಒಂದೇ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. You have a recruitment specialist, you have talent acquisition, you have onboarder, and then you have the people from what is that, retention, right? Or maybe retention, and then you have your HR manager which can manage the process. ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ HR ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಲ್ಗೆ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸೊ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ HR ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. Yeah, can you unmute and then address the question, please? Please go ahead. Hello. Yeah, someone was saying something. Okay, so then you can actually look at the product. The product can be your which can be related to your IT or maybe non-IT. So you have a manufacturing products, you have a software products everywhere, right? So the department product team is on production. Basically you'll be working on the product which is already developed, or maybe you can actually develop it, right? So if you look at this is where the most of the interaction happens. So on a high level, this is where your the interaction is happening with a product team. And then IT is a backend. That means you manage your infrastructure, you manage your network, you manage your security, right? So that is where the IT is coming in. And then service and then support is what you will support the existing product. If I have to talk about the automobile industry, you have a lot of showrooms coming in. Maruti, Volkswagen, your Ford, and then you have your Morrison garages. So a lot of your what is that? So a lot of showrooms are there, right? So those showrooms, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೀ product ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Product is nothing but your cars, right? So if something comes out, so it needs a service, right? It needs a service. So what is that service? You're all the service stations. It can be from the same company, or maybe it can be from the different companies. So the services is out. The product and the technology remains the same in the market. So this is where it will work. Okay. And support is particularly, you look at, ivaga gadi ellaru kharab aaytu. So when it's when you're going in your ungeographical locations, or unplanned terrains. So when you're going in there, so some of your cars might have get lost. So it got damaged, or maybe it got crashed. So you need a support. So that's a RSA, or maybe you call it as in what, roadside assistance. Yeah, the RSA you will get it. So that's how you will get a support as concerned with that particular industry. If you're looking at technology, you have tech support, call support, and then you have your BPO jobs coming in terms of your the backend form filling, or maybe back office jobs, or maybe you are supporting over the email, you're supporting over the call, you're supporting over the chat. So this is what the support the teams would look like, right? And the procurement is very beautiful team, where most of the process happens due to the time constraint. Please I would request to give you an high level heads up on these these things, but I would always request, please look at the common departments which are there, and then study yourself what they do, right? So procurement is is a beautiful team. That means you can be a purchase manager, purchase head, purchase executive, who will do the procurement process. That means someone has to give them a proposal. These guys will look at the inventory if they have anything. So then they'll release that and then take the invoice, and then they will put it across to the finance team to your for the payments. True. So procurement is a beautiful team. So it's all one or the other, all connected within each other. So I might need another more time for this to explain all this process and all, right? So your production and then engineering is where most of your BCAs and then MCAs will be working, right? And then you're all the tech savvy guys from from BEs and then MEs or maybe MTechs, for the people who are from those backgrounds. Production and then engineering is where they will be working for when it's concerned with IT. Or maybe if you call a BBA guys or maybe MBA guys as well, they'll be working in production and then engineering at the quality level, right? So they might be a quality analyst or maybe your IT analyst or maybe a product analyst. So this is where your BBAs and then MBAs will be working along with the business, because business is always attached with these two departments, which is production and engineering along with your product, right? So operations is where the other departments where we can actually look at. Operation and admin are the two major departments which can ease out the entire process of the operations, right? So as I told you about the finance to release an order, or sorry, told you about procurement to release the order, to get the invoice and then see the inventory. Who is looking at those operations is the operational guy, and then admin is the one who will be taking care of your entire basic needs of the companies. It can be your toilet papers, it can be your someone have to need to book a flight tickets, who's been maintaining with the what, so the maids who will be working across the companies. So look at that. So that is what the admin will be doing. So he'll be doing the admin part of it as a lot of operational part. So in some companies you will look at operations and an admin as a single person. Okay. So which is the next department is R&D, which is research and development. So most of the MSCs or maybe MTech and then your MEs are the major person who can opt for this particular department. So you can search for the job opportunities for R&Ds only. Here you will have a lot of opportunity coming in for R&Ds, because there has to be someone who can research and then develop that particular product or a process. So there has to be someone, right? There is nothing to go ahead. But why the people are looking at R&D, research and development team? Because they have to grow. So they are ready to invest on the teams, the companies. So in a major companies, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, in a major company, a company will dedicate 20% of its profit margin for R&D, because they know that R&D is a crucial team where they have to develop and then come out of the market as a competitive edge. R&D is a major team today, right? So you will find very few people getting into that team, and then your salaries will. So if you are looking at R&D engineer or maybe R&D executive itself, the salary would be somewhere around 7 to 8 lakhs, depending on the technology that you're working, right? So yeah, so these are the common departments within the company. So this is completely an the event process of the complete technology. So this is not at all required as of now. If you look at what are the current day challenges is with the candidates, is awareness. So this is what Andre, I mean, company what HR will look at. HR will look at the people who are so these are the challenges which you are facing. Then comes your HR. Then HR will say, okay, fine, why I have to hire Vikas, or maybe why I have to hire someone who is not even aware of. Think about it, right? So these are the challenges today in the market. It's not known. I mean, no, you're not known. You're not exposed to the industry. That is a challenge. That's an awareness. So basically, if you look at this, why would you particularly compromise for the lesser packages? Because you don't you don't aware of the industry today, right? So you don't have again the challenges within the graduating fresher, or maybe anyone who has been a fresher right now. They don't have a real world experiences in which the companies will ask the most. So how funny is it, right? So when you're learning itself, you have to have a real world experiences. So that means you have to have a process understanding or a technology understanding what is the potential of that particular industry or company has. So companies don't mind when you have an idea of the industry, right? And there might be a wrong assumption. There might be there might be your seniors, or maybe there might be your family influences, or maybe there might be your friends on wrong assumption saying that okay, maga il hogborana 15-20 sambala sigute, that's more than enough. That's what it's happening. or maybe you can think it of ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಾ 30-40 ಸಂಬಳ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. But you are killing yourself, which is for highest packages. Yes. So someone has chatted. Just so Karthik, yeah. Hi Karthik. Fine. So there is a wrong assumption. So your skill set can be more than 30,000, 20,000, 40,000, brothers, or maybe sisters. So there might be your capability is to crack more than 25 to 30k, or maybe 40k a month. Why you have to compromise for 15k? So that means you're not given a shot to it. I mean, you're not given exposed. So let's bring that challenges to zero, right? So there are challenges today. I'm not talking about one individual. So this is the challenges with most of them in the industry, and there might be influence on the trend, right? So ivaga yaro obba ello ondu kade jump ada anta heladra. So there might be only certain people, or maybe he might be talking about the same technology. So that is where you will have a peer influence coming in. So that's a challenge today, right? And it's a lead with a skill. So if you're looking at skills, if you look at today, the skill is a major thing. That is where I was keep on saying, look at the skills what you have, look at the skills what you have. So if you look at, and if you say, okay sir, idella sari nanu student agi company seradmele, so what are the surveys? So you look at it, right? 90% of the students feel that placement training is not enough. Actually, if you look at this survey are pure results shared by the HR from multiple companies to HR AI while consulting fresher of the first year in the company. So after they joined the company, after the first year, so then they will suffer a lot. And this numbers has been given from HRs. It's not from our own numbers, right? 90% students feel the placement trainings are not only enough. So they need more and more training. They need more skill set for that, right? 65% freshers doesn't have a future plan at all. Not 65, I think it's maximum. But at least some of the people will have, okay, illa nan idan martini, I'll do this, and at least they have an heads up on that. True. 77% freshers lack skills. This is what the major thing is. 77%. You look at the market. So I'm not talking about only BBA, BCA, or maybe even your MSCs and all, or maybe MCAs and all, right? So this is a fact of even your BAs, brothers. Even engineering madodordu ide. Even MBAs, people who are doing your MBAs in business analytics, MBA finance, marketing. It looks like a jazzy word, but this is a challenge. I used to hire 600 professionals every year in my team. 600 new professionals every year in my team. Out of that, 400 to 500 people, right, were used to be a freshers. Imagine. This is a basic thing that you have to learn, skills is a basic thing. So when you are looking at the higher packages, what skills that you have? Illa antande aam janta, aam aadmi, ya fir normal janta tara, so you can actually go for that jobs, which is not even getting to your payrolls, right? Yes, 83% HR feels post placement training orientation program is required. Andre ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕೋತಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನನ. 83% HR ಇದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So we have to provide training. Yes, obviously they have to provide training, right? So you can ask a question, sir, nami heng gottiratte, what is the company is all about, or maybe what is the process, or maybe what is the technology, or maybe what about blah 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 things what they have, right? Where the orientation is needed is on the industry, is on the market, is on the company and the job profile. That is where it is required, right? Not on the existing job, or maybe your product what you do it. So the basic thing is what you need is in terms of professional skills and the industry skills. True. Okay, so there is current market survey. So this is as per the survey results of a HR to Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So 86% of the recruiters have received a mandate from the hiring manager, right? So ivaga skill idre matra hire maadi anta heli 86% of the recruiters have received a mandate, right? And if you look at 72% employees, so this just just ignore this particular numbers. So I'll just give you a heads up. 72% of the employees are not satisfied with their existing job. How though? Because you look at the change of an era. So as I've told you, look at the opportunities which I've created since from past 16 years, right? 56% employees lack skills. That's obviously true. The new people who are coming out in the market should have, and they are concentrating on having a skills today. So why would a college, would recommend you to have these things? So college ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತಗೋ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ because of this. True. And then if you look at 43 individuals, work in a different profession, adantu nija. So if you look at that, 43% of the individuals are working in a different domain, what they have learned in a different stream in the, in the academics, right? So the numbers, this keeps me alive every day. This keeps me motivated. So 5,400 different professions globally. Imagine. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I think I made you understand on the previously with 1947 to 2021, and then I've given you a heads up in terms of what we are doing in a technology era. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಜೆದಾರ್ ಚೀಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, I mean, if I have to give you a heads up on what's new, so every 3 months there will be a new profession introduced in the market. So there is a profession called recently there is a profession called ERM, which is Enterprise Risk Management Professional, and the package is somewhere around 65 lakhs an annum. 65 lakhs ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ if you are IRM certified professional today. So that's a new profession in the market, and as per my understanding, there are only 3 to 4 vacancies in entire India as of now. So the highest paid was somewhere around 88 lakhs last year, so I just know about it, right? So the new profession from the companies, you look at it, right? So there can be 100% possibility for that, and you are looking at 1,400 professions. Yes. So, yeah, hello. Okay. So the professions are, sir, what is this professions all about? So professions are nothing but it's not about the job. Job is different, profession is different. You should understand that, right? So particularly you are looking at something which can enter as a career. That's called profession, right? 5,400 professions which can cut across all your industries, companies, roles, positions, technology, department, geography, and this includes both technical and the non-technical aspect. 5,400 different professions in a globe, right? So if you look at this, unfortunately, but 200 profession ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ. Only 200 known professions. So let me repeat that. There are 5,400 different professions globally for both technical and the non-technical candidates who are graduates and then master graduates. I'm not even talking about your 10th, 12th failed past candidates at all. No. 5,400 different professions globally for technical and the non-technical students, from graduates and then master graduates. But unfortunately, namig gottiruvantadu 200. So there are, only about 200 professions today, right? So there are 1,200 professions which yield a better pay and good social life, right? And 700 professions are still unknown to the market. Imagine. You look at the numbers. I'm not even looking at the numbers which are not there even highlighted here, right? I'm not even looking at the 3,000 numbers. You look at the number here. So there are 700 unknown most professions today, which only the company knows where, why they have to. So you have to understand the difference between, why the company has to hire from, IIM and then offer him 15 lakhs or 10 lakhs or maybe 20 lakhs. And, there might be other colleges, why they have to give them 3 to 4 lakhs or maybe even 5 lakhs. So the difference is skills. Companies have, so you might think, illa sir, avarella bere eno kalitare, naveno kalite. No, that's not an idea. Company has a different positions for IIM. Company has a different positions for the other colleges. So that's a true fact. So they know why. What is that? ಇವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ then I can compete with IIM, no? Then I can compete with the people what I need. If I know about the industry, if I know about the challenges, if I know about the market, if I have a skills, then what else I need? Just a, it's just a walk-in interview. I can go it and then I can crack an interview like, like kick ass and then come back. That's more than enough. This is what we have to learn, right? This is where you have to see yourself growing up. So this is what, my only agenda, or maybe, my only heads up for you guys. So what with individual, what you have to learn is you have to learn the industry knowledge, which cut across 41 industries across the globe. You need to have a company knowledge. What are the types of companies, how they are marketly placed? You have to learn what is the current market trends in technology. There are more than 340 to 380 topics. So you can actually use your, related topics. There are some 15 to 20 topics for your, BBAs, or maybe even 20 plus topics for your BComs, and then 40 plus topics for your BCAs. And then you have a master's that, that plays a common role around 120 topics, right? So that particular market, technology topics that you have to understand today. And the rest is the job knowledge. Yeah, you need to understand your job profile, job description, everything. And then you have to enter into a company. So this is what actually, the companies would look from you. So yes, if you work on this way, right? If you understand this, and then if you look at this, so you can expect more salary, from your existing profile. And then you can be an industry ready guy, and then you will be a skill driven professional. And then also you can look at the, the professional known process, and then, the domains that you can come in from, right? So this becomes your bridge between your academics and profession. So this is what I can say. So thanks. So help me understand if you have any questions. So I'll just keep this channel alive for the questions, please. Anyone? Hello?
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್.
Yes. Yeah.
ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗಲೇ,
ಹೌದು.
ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ?
Okay. Who is speaking? May I know your name, please?
ಶಿವರಾಜ್ ತಳವಾರ್.
Okay, Shivraj. Shivraj, ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? What you are doing?
ಸರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅ ಬಿಕಾಮ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್.
BCom final year ಅಲ್ಲ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
So BCom ಅಲ್ಲಿ the skill set required, as I've told you, is so there are see Shivraj, there are 3 types of skills. One is your industrial skill, okay, one is your professional skill, and then one is your market skill anta barutte. So it goes for every individual, okay. So industry skills antandre what industry need. Ivaga example BCom is particularly for your finance. It was good for finance department, right? Ivaga idrallene advance ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, if you look at the current market today, you have investment banking coming in. Have you heard about the topic of investment banking?
No sir.
Yes. So this is what the people are looking at. Investment banking anta ondide, right? So the people are leading there, people are coming there, and then they are earning more money. I mean, you can be an investment banker as being a BCom professional. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, right? Or apart from that, you need to have an idea or maybe a certification as being an investment banker. So certificates available sigata. And I mean, you can look at that post, while doing iವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, during their courses itself, they are doing this professional certifications together. Andre that is portraying your skill. And the other thing is on the market skill antandre, so what your soft skills in terms of what you have, right? So these are the skills. Industry skills you go with individual. BCom alli ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ ನೋಡಿ. BFSI ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. NBFC ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ನಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಅಥವಾ ಫಿನ್ಟೆಕ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, or where you are going? Are you going for any industry as a finance guy? So when you bifurcate yourself as an industry, so ಈ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So make use of Google here.
Okay sir, thank you.
Right? Any further questions?
No sir.
Thank you, Shivraj. Yeah. Hello. Any questions from anyone? So please feel free. I mean, I'm totally aligned. So, I'm the most happiest person to address the questions. Until and unless you don't, throw up a question, how would I know that, okay, some persons are maybe so interested? Hello? Hello? Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, nothing, sir.
Okay, so there is a question from Naveen. How can BCA students be skillful? So Naveen, as I've told you, right? So that cut across everyone. So you need to have an industry skill. You need to have a professional skill. You need to have your, what is it? The market skill as well. For BCA, you have opportunities coming up from your, the technology or maybe the industry you are. So BCA has a multiple options for the industries, right? So ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ applications, ITs and all that, right? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ, even a manufacturing or maybe any company has an IT. If you're a BCA guy who want to work on your, skill set, so you imagine which is a skill set as per the industry. ಯಾವ industry ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, industry skills ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Professional skills, as I've told you, ನಿಮಗೆ options ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, you look at the cyber security, you look at your cloud, you look at IoT, you look at analytics. Lot of options are there for you to get certified. Then you come with your professional skills of your communication, or sorry, market skills in terms of the communication, or maybe your the soft skills. So this is where, as I've told you, you have to come forward, and then you are the one who want to be a skillful guy. So you get ready which industry that you want to go through. So then you can actually look at, okay, how can I get skillful for? Right? Hope that addressed your question. So yes, anyone else who wanted to throw up some questions on me? So I'm most happiest to address that. I think we are good to round up now. Can we go for ICW? Okay, so someone has messaged. Okay, just a second, Pavitra. So how we deal with challenges, labor disputes and violations. Okay, and then sir, we can go for ICWA after completing a BCom or any other professional course. It's always suggested to look at the ICW. Yeah, after BCom you can actually do it. So but that's not a big deal. Yeah, most of the people will look into CS as well. So look at the CS, or maybe you look at the company secretary. ICW can do a job after BCom. Yeah, that would be an ideal one. So there has to be no professional courses for that. How we deal with challenges, labor disputes and violations. Why do you need the challenges or labor disputes? I don't understand. If it's with the legal entities, or so you don't have to worry about the violations at all. If your labor disputes is nothing but what? If you're an advocate, then you would have been dealt with that. So can you please elaborate what is that particular violations that you're looking at? Labor disputes are not a challenge, brother. So Karthik, it was there during my old times. Labor disputes, the challenges. Now the entire country and then laws are very strict on that, right? Okay, thank you. Any further questions?
Sir, this is Divya.
Yeah, Divya.
Sir, students who are going for higher education, what do you refer for those, sir?
So that we have to sit and discuss with them. So particularly higher education is the options that they have right now. Why they go for higher education? Because they are not even tried with their existing salaries. If you're earning 25,000 at your BCom or maybe at a graduate level, then after post graduation, if you're earning 25 to 30,000, what's a deal with doing a business? Sorry, what's a deal with going for a higher studies? Right. So by that 2 years itself, you can gain an experience in a company.
It's better that we go for higher education or do some courses, skill courses, and join for the
skilled
Job.
courses. See, that's the same thing, right? So there is no, so why, if you look at the most of the universities today, why, yeah, but we can get experience, we can get expert more salary. Yes, that's true, Karthik. When you have an experience, then you are looking at something as a higher pay scale. That's actually a good one. If you are done your masters, so then if my heads up is, if you are looking at the teaching profile, please go for your masters,
Yes, sir.
because without
Do
that,
please ask us whether we have to do PG courses or let us go for job.
that's
So
up
the
to them.
two
See,
ways
end of the day, it's their call,
Mm.
right? So we can give them an heads up. So we have to look at a lot of factors coming in. I think, sir, if I ask you to suggest a best thing for or a best course, I'm asking from your side to do completing after your or BCom. So Nabil, after BCom, my suggestion is get into a courses like business analyst or a financial analyst, which is trending in the market today. And also you can get certified on advanced Excel and maybe your MIS reporting position, right? And apart from that, the quantitative finance is the one thing that is one particular topic which is booming in the market today, right? And advanced Excel. So these are the courses I think that we can actually look at, suggesting you. Thanks, brother. Anyone else? Any questions? I think we are good to go right now, right? Thank you. So yes, Pavitra. So
Sir,
yes.
one more question asked in YouTube.
Mhm.
How do you handle by becoming a revenue inspector? It asked by Shivraj Talwar.
Can you come again, please? Yeah. What's with the revenue inspector?
How do you handle by becoming a revenue inspector?
So that's what I was addressed in my, addressed in my session as well, right? So during a session, I addressed it. So being a revenue inspector, you have to, choose your department, choose your board, or maybe a ministry wise. So that's where you have to work. So end of the day, revenue inspector is right now, they are working in a board as of now, right? So maybe they are working in a department. Yeah, department they are working for. So what's there, as a multiple department or maybe multiple boards that you have to, crack that exam and then you have to get into. And then revenue inspector is just like what they are fixed for next 5-10 years. So there is nothing like that. Okay, they can actually grow up within within the department. So that's up to them in terms of becoming a revenue inspector, and then then going out for 5 years within the company. So sorry, within the board. So that's a government you are dealing with. So that's your call.
Okay, so same person asked one more question. What education need for becoming a private jobber with sufficient salary?
Okay, that's that's a cool question. See, you need to understand particularly what the companies are looking. Why what companies will look at in the candidate. If you have one graduation, right, your 1.5 lakhs is ready. So let me give you a comparison of it. So your 1.5 lakhs is ready for your graduation. If you are skilled enough, they will offer you another 50,000. Right? If you are, maybe going with a company package, or maybe if you are going for good company, so they might offer you another one, another 1 lakh. So that means your existing salary is 3 to 3.5 lakhs. Okay. If you look at other things, right? A decent company. So when you are done a graduation, so then your package is 2 lakhs. Then again goes with your skill. If you have a skill, then you have 50,000 or maybe 1 lakh, and post that the company standards as well as blah 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 things. So no one is minding about the company standards right now. As per the position designation, it is around another 50,000 to 1 lakh. So that means your category is 4 lakhs. There are certain companies, or maybe, so that depends on the college, the skill, maybe what you have, and then the position what you are looking for. So that depends, right? So if you look at the certain people in the market, so there are some people are getting placed for 6 lakhs, even for 3 lakhs, even for 12 lakhs. Recently I was interacting with one of the with one of my clients. So they said, because what, I heard a candidate for 65 lakhs an annum, 60 lakhs an annum. So that's with Adobe today. And I don't know whether that candidate have joined the company. So there you have a lot of opportunities. You have opportunities from 3 lakhs to 60 lakhs. That depends on how you manage it. So I think that addressed the question. There are a lot of opportunities there. So that depends on how you are accepting the opportunities. Hope that addressed the question, Divya or Pavitra.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
anybody is having any question? Now I request Professor Fazil from Cent.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Sir,
Sir,
kindly mute
actually,
yourself.
all the information.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Hello. Hello.
Okay. Now I request for Professor Fazal from SCT Degree College to give the vote of thanks. So Fazal sir, please over to you.
No. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you audible, sir?
Yes, Hemant, I'm audible. Yeah, please go ahead. Hello, Hemant. I think. Hello.
Professor Fazal.
Yes, I'm online here.
Sir, are you aware of any job requirements, sir?
Yeah, I'm not from that background, brother. I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm not thoughting that you're from that background. I'm just taking some information about you, sir.
You have a lot of job vacancies coming up, right? So I don't know how the jobs are coming up. I'm basically from the industry. We interact with the people depending on how they work.
It's okay. Thank you for information.
Thank you,
Okay, sir,
Hemant.
thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good evening, all. I feel incredibly honored and privileged to have been allowed to extend a vote of thanks on this auspicious day. This is a momentous day in the history of our college, as we have, for the first time, hosted this grand session. On behalf of SCT Degree College and Disciples India Learning Forum, I would like to extend my warm regards to our guest speaker, Mr. Vikas Virupaksha. Thank you, sir, for giving us an inside knowledge about the market and current industry. I hope this will be very helpful for our students. And words would fall short for describing how much knowledge we have derived from the session, sir. Thank you. Last but not least, I want to extend a warm thanks to our respected teachers and faculty members and participants for making this event happen successfully. In the end, I would like to grab the opportunity to mention that we hope we continue to work like this and organize such events in future for the betterment and uplift of our students. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, thanks everyone. You've been a good audience. Love you all. Thank you. Let's look at everyone at the industry. We'll see you in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a great session.
Requesting all of you for the national anthem. Shit. Thank you all.
ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ 11 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Connect to Disciples India Learning Forum. To become a Disciples India Learning Forum member, please contact Dr. Sandhya N, Mr. Muthukumar, Mr. Patros Mathai, Mr. Satish M, Mr. Shivprasad KM, Mr. Akhilesh. Thank you all.